Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. So in this video, we're gonna do another review of Velocity Banking. And if you don't know what Velocity Banking is, all it is a strategy to pay off debts using lines of credit as the main tool. So the inspiration of this video came from a video that popped up on my feed, which is why more adults aged 26 to 41 are living with their parents, and this is happening in the Carolinas. So places that were considered to be cheap, right, back in the day are now just having the same problems that we had in California and probably New York too. Places are getting more expensive. And you know what? There's no shame with living with your parents if it's going to make your life easier. In fact, I kind of wish that back in the day, there was no shame with living with your parents because you couldn't find a job. 2008 happened, and bad times, but there's no shame with living with your parents. Because here's the thing: there's advantages of that, right? So the main advantage of your parents is pretty cool. You get to live with your parents, and you know what? Maybe you don't get to pay rent, right? So we have a budget right here where we make decent income, but we don't have that much savings left over. We're 590, so that's a respectable savings amount. At least we're not negative savings, negative cash flow. We got three credit cards and a student loan. And you know what? If we move back with our parents, guess what happens? This becomes zero, right? And look at how much this explodes. So that's why I say there's no shame with living with your parents. And get the other thing too that might happen is that your expenses might decrease because you might have shared expenses, right? So this might be $1,000, 1,200. Let's just decrease this to 1,200, right? And so now we're since we live with our parents, which is pretty much a great situation for in terms of finances, but but may not be so great in other things. And one of the reasons that I don't live with my parents is because sometimes everything I do is wrong. And there's a saying that you're never a prophet in your hometown. So that's why I don't live back in California. But anyways, okay. So now what we're going to do is do velocity banking to pay off our debts. And in order to do velocity banking, there's two main requirements. So the first one we have is a budget. So we just pretty much did the budget. And the whole point of the budget is to figure out which debts we're going to pay off because this is a debt payoff strategy. And the more debt that we pay off, the more cash flow we get. But just the fact that we move within with our parents made our lives so much easier, right? So let's actually do the velocity banking strategy. And what we have to do is select the line of credit as our main operating account. So let's just assume we have something called a personal line of credit. And I wrote this right here where we have a $15,000 limit, right? 15,000. I have over $285,000 in lines of credit. So I know it's possible to get a $15,000 limit. And I have one just laying around, and somebody complained, well, not everybody has a personal line of credit laying around. That's right, they don't because banks don't lend money to people who need it, right? And so you have to kind of be a little bit prepared on how you're going to manage your credit and don't get it. Like you don't get credit when you need it, right? You get it when you don't need it, and then you'll have it available to help you manage your cash flow, which is the perfect situation right now. So when we do velocity banking, we do two things. We assume that number one, we have the same income. So if you make more income, that's fantastic. And number two, let's say you had 2,800 savings a month. We're going to just go to zero savings. We're going to take that out. It's going to be shocking to most people, right? All right. So now let's go ahead and re-engineer our finances, right? And let's do this. Let's just do a debt transfer. So we have $20,000 of credit card debt. And actually, let me do this. I probably wrote this wrong. This is 60K of debt. And we should be debt free pretty soon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move 15K of this credit card debt into here. So 15,000, right? And then so what's going to happen? Not all. So this is 20K of credit card debt, and what we should do is leave 5K in the 19% um, credit card. Okay, and so let's get rid of these. And guess what happens? This turns to zero. This turns to zero. Now we got to find out what the payment at 5K is. So let's go ahead and do that. So $5,000 at what's the APR for the credit card three? 19%. So let's go ahead and look for 19% of here, and then it'll be 129.17. Okay, so 129.17. All right, so now let's calculate our cash flow, which is your income minus your expenses. And bam, we went from 2,800, which is really good because we decided to live with our parents, to 3,300 because we did velocity banking, right? So it's a double, not a whammy, double plus, right? Living with your parents would be cool if, well, it'd be cool for me if they just didn't complain, but maybe my parents are different from yours because they just complain all the time. But they're decent, hardworking folks. Okay, so now what we're going to do is do the velocity banking strategy, right? So all the velocity banking strategy is income into your line of credit, expenses out, and then after every single month, the balance of that line of credit is going to decrease by the $3,000. Okay, so let's go ahead and put in the formula. So J2, J1, no, I'm not even J. Oh, I'm so sleepy right now, but I want to crank out a video because I probably won't crank out a video by tomorrow. But it's I2 plus 1. And then the next one here is G2 plus H2. So previous month's balance plus previous month's interest minus our cash flow of 3352.63, right? And that's a very beautiful cash flow. Now, we have to calculate the interest, right? So what we're going to do is take the average daily balance, which is going to be the average of the two numbers, or that's an estimate of what the average daily balance would be, multiply it by the interest rate, which is 0.15, and then divide by 12. Okay? And then now all you do is just copy and paste this formula, and let's see how long it takes. Oh my goodness, it took us 5 months to pay that 15K off. And you know what? Let's go ahead and how much is this anyways? And here's the thing, like we could probably move this 5K here. Actually, let's go ahead and move this 5K here. Okay? So if we move this 5K right here, 5000, and it's not going to be 5,000 because obviously when you make payments for about how many months is it? 3 months? Okay, so 5,000 here. So this isn't going to be totally accurate, but the idea is what counts, 3481. So now our new cash flow here is 3481.8. Okay? So all right. Okay, so now it took us 7 months to pay all of that credit card debt off. All of the credit card debt off. 7 months. Okay, beautiful. All right, so now what we do is remind a milestone that it took us 7 months to pay 20K. Ooh. All right. That's a great that's a really fast time to pay off 20K. And then now we got the student loans. Whoopsie. What did I do here? All right, so now we got the student loan, and we got to figure out what the balance of the student loan is at 7 months. So it's not going to be chipped away that long, but let's just go here. I have it in this amortization calculator. Now we got to look for 7 months, and it's went down to 28 grand. Okay, so 7 months is going to be 28 grand. Okay, so now this is what we can do. And to be honest, it doesn't matter if we put our savings directly into our loan or just move it to the line of credit. I'll tell you what, you can do whatever you want, but one of the reasons why you might move it to the line of credit is to help prevent something called segregation of income. But we go over that in another video. I don't want to explain it, but let's just say, and again, I'm kind of skipping over a lot of things. We move $5,000 into the line of credit and then just keep paying it off and see how long it takes. Now, luckily, we have a velocity banking calculator for that, which is provided by Renatus, which is an educational company that I'm a marketer for, right? And I make commission off of sales. But let me go ahead and put that information here in this calculator. So the original balance is 30,000. And then the current balance is 28,630.60. And I hope I can make it through this video because I'll be honest, I'm really sleepy. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but whatever. Interest rate is 5%, 10, and then what is the payment is 318.20. And what we're going to do is just move $5,000 to a line of credit at 10%. $5,000 is our income. And then what is our expenses? It's just everything except for the loan we're paying off, which is 1,200. And here's the thing: in the budget, we assumed that there's no auto loan because we got a hand me down. In fact, I've actually never bought a car before. The car I'm currently driving is a 2003 Toyota Camry, and still works kind of fine. Yeah. So again, you don't need to buy a new car because cars apparently are the ultimate wealth killer. All right, so 1,200 right here. And how long does it take us to pay off that student loan? Oh my goodness, under a year, so zero point 0.7, so 0.7 years. So let's just do this. 7 times 12 plus zero point 0.7. And did I screw this up? No, it's divided by 12, right? 7 divided by 12. So 1.228 years, whatever that means. And that means we're, is it 50K? Did I screw this up? So this is 10, 20. Oh, my bad. I'm bad at math today. 50K debt free. 1.28 years, so less than 2 years. And all because I decided I'm going to live with my parents, right? So again, this is a, if you're in a negative cash flow what's it called? Negative cash, or if you're experiencing negative cash flow, right? You're in a negative cash flow situation. Don't be proud to have roommates or proud enough to so that you just can't have roommates. I mean, would you rather have $0 for rent or $2,000 for a single family home and you live in it by yourself? That would be crazy, right? That would be crazy. But a lot of people are in that situation where they pay a ton of rent or they just live at home with mom and dad and pay none, right? It's your choice. But in this scenario, we paid less than 1.2 or 50K of debt in 1.28 years because we decided we're going to swallow our pride and do the not so cool thing. Well, at least in back in my day, it wasn't so cool, but I don't know how other people feel. But yeah, it's pretty much it. Velocity Banking will live with your parents. So if you're interested in joining our group, go ahead and click the Google form link below. Oh, I'm so sleepy. Other than that, have a great night and we will speak next time.